parents gave us the blessings and they told us that I am this girl who always wanted to walk down the aisle. I wanted to put on that gown, and in my head I was thinking
we would have done our official wedding in Kenya.
God provided for me, for you, take care of you, for your transport and everything. I said, guys, and welcome again to our YouTube channel. And if you're new here, my name is Dee
and I'm Nat, and we're so happy to have you with us today.
And yes, we are excited that you guys are back here again. For the ones who have been watching the prior videos that we did, so we just want to welcome you to this part of the video. If you haven't watched the other videos of how we met, I will request you to just put a pause on this video and just go back and watch from part 1 all the way to part 6. And we welcome you guys to this. We are so excited to have you on board, and we just ask you to support us by pressing that subscribe button and also the notification bell so that you can be notified of all the videos that are upcoming. If you haven't shared our video, please do so and drop your comments. Thank you so much for those of you who've been engaging with us and giving us your feedback on what God is speaking to you through our testimony, and we hope to hear more and more feedback. So drop your comments, guys. Let's discuss about this. Let's get to know more of what you think, and I know God is going to continue to bless us. All right, so we will get right into this. And I know we left the part where we did the engagement. So I got engaged, guys, and I was so excited because as a girl, as a single lady, I was really hoping, you know, I had that dream that one day I'm going to be engaged, and in a proper way, by the right person. And so I was so excited that God caused this to come to pass. And after the engagement, now me and my husband, my fiance now at that point, started thinking about marriage. I mean, we had already thought and talked about marriage, but now we started really thinking of what the next steps would be. Now remember, I only had a few days left in the country because that was on the 26th of December, and I was supposed to travel in January the 12th. Now it's the 26th, and I remember when we was back home, our parents gave us the blessings and they told us that, because my husband did ask them if in the event that doing getting married will be more beneficial to us in terms of, you know, the up and down, the traveling back and forth, and you know, my country is very far from the Bahamas. Do we have your blessings, even if we won't do the ceremony here, for us to just do the, you know, the legal wedding? And my parents said they're okay with that. We have their blessings, and his parents as well. And so in my head, that was really bothering me, you know, because I am this girl who always wanted to walk down the aisle. I wanted to put on that gown, and in my head I was thinking, I remember asking my husband, my fiance then, that once we go and do the legal marriage, are we allowed to live together, or we have to wait until we do the other ceremony? And my husband said, yeah, I mean, we'll be legally married. So, and his plan was actually, once we go and do the legal marriage, then we'll come back to the bishop and his bishop in the church, and they just sit down with us and they bless us. We just go in the church, just us and probably our parents and our nuclear family, and we just do nothing, no ceremony, just, you know, just the marriage and the blessings from our pastors, and then we'll be allowed to live together. But in my head, that wasn't sitting well with me, because I was like, I've always dreamt to wear this gown. I've always dreamt to, you know, to walk down the aisle, and once we do this thing, we can live together. So that means, even if he was telling me we're gonna do the ceremony in September, that wasn't sitting well with me, because I'm gonna live with you, and then I'll go and do the ceremony in Kenya, put on my gown, walk down the aisle, I don't live with you. that wasn't sitting well with me. No. And so I remember praying to God and telling God, Father, that is not my desire. That's not what I've been looking forward to. Because I understand this situation we are in. Honestly, at that point, Mr. Pram, maybe you can tell us, what was your reasoning behind that? Why did you not want to just do the ceremony at that very moment?
So what had already been decided and discussed was that September of that year, we would have done our official wedding in Kenya. And so that would have been, in keeping with the tradition of, a girl or bride being married from her home, from the arms of her parents, and that traditional setting. So, I wanted to try to maintain that traditional setting, even though our coming together was far from traditional. It was just divine connection from the get-go. So I was trying to seek to, maintain as much as possible and to respect and honor the Kenyan tradition of marriage. And so that was really my push to kind of keep everything together. And then on top of that, to wed in the Bahamas in January, was not the financial preparations I had made. So I had already calculated, to be in a good financial standing for September. So now to fast track this wedding by some 9 months, hey, I had not made those financial preparations for that. And so I was really pushing to, let's maintain that September agreement that we came to as we forecast earlier. Then that was the thought behind trying to maintain that September program. However, as we talked and we decided that we're going to trust God because we saw the hand of God was already in our marriage, in our coming together from day one. We saw God's hand. And so, we decided, hey, let's believe God. Let's put God to the test. So in actuality, you must remember now, my wife arrived in the Bahamas on the 16th. Just to do the math.
December.
The 16th of December. We got engaged on the 26th of December, which is 10 days after she arrived in the country. So we got engaged 10 days after. Now we looked at the calendar, looking at her departure, which was scheduled for the 12th of January. The 12th of January, we looked and see when would have been the best possible time for wedding. And this is from the 26th. So we only had to the 31st of December, which is about 5 days, I think.
Yeah.
About 5 days. And then you had another 12 days before she left. So
Right.
5 plus 12 is 17. So we had actually 17 days to do whatever we were going to do before her flight left. And I was supposed to leave the Bahamas, I think about 3 or 4 days later to go back to Africa for mission. Specifically the West Africa, the Gambia. I was supposed to fly into the Gambia a few days after she would have arrived home. I know she was back home and sorted.
Right.
So by the 26th, we said, now we've already engaged. What do we do?
Right.
What do we do?
Right.
Mhm.
And then so I remember at that point, I just made that prayer and I said to the Holy Spirit, I said, now Lord, this is not my desire, but I said, you are my Father. You are my Father, and everything belongs to you. You have everything that we need to do anything that we desire. And you say that the expectations of the righteous will not be cut short. And I told God, you are the same God that made way for us to come together. By the way, my flight wasn't cheap at all, but Mr. Pratt here, God enabled him and he covered my costs to travel and come here. But I remember at that point, I think that was one of the things in my life that I ever had so much faith in. And I say to God, I didn't wait for 29 years, Lord, to just go to the the AG, and just sit down and write and sign off on the wedding legally, and then go to pastor's office and just get blessed. No, I was like, God, I trust that you can do more than that for me. And that was my desire. That was just my desire. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but that was just my desire. And I know that was Mr. Pratt's desire. It's just that the circumstances, the situation surrounding us did not make it look like that's reasonable or realistic for us to do. But guess what, guys? We trusted in the Lord. And I remember going to my fiancé and telling him, honey, I don't know if you've ever trusted God for something that looks impossible. He said, oh yeah, I trusted God for you to come over here. It was during COVID, and God beat all the odds. Literally. It was during COVID. You was given a visa. God provided for me for you, take care of you for your transport and everything. I said, okay, how about we trust God one more time? And he was like, what are you talking about? And I said, I really want to walk down the aisle. And Mr. Brad looked at me like, girl, you're gonna walk down the aisle, just not now. I said, I want to walk down the aisle now. I don't want to wait until the ceremony in September and just go do a legal thing and just get blessed by Bishop. No, I want to walk down the aisle. And he was like, you really think I don't want that? I just, right now, financially, look at every situation. I mean, but then he said, if you don't believe me, I remember at one point him giving me his credit card, his debit card, and saying, you just go look and see if there's anything there. Fine, let's plan with whatever is there in my account. And at that point, both of us were not financially in a position to fund a wedding, and a good wedding, maybe not so expensive, but just a normal, nice wedding in the Bahamas. And I told my husband, we gotta trust God to provide. Say, in the Bahamas, they don't do, like in my country, Kenya, people usually come together, and like your church committee, the former committee, come together and contribute. You write down a budget and then start contributing money for the wedding. But now in the Bahamas, you have to have the money to take care of your own wedding. Whoever comes in to bless you with anything, they just do it out of their own willingness. But it's not like the church sits down to plan for your wedding committee, and no, you plan for it. All you do is call the bishop, come and join your wedding, and that's it. So I told my husband, we're gonna trust God on this one. And so he told me, you know what, let me sleep on that and I'll give you a feedback the next day. So when he got up the next day, he said, okay, I feel a release in my spirit, we can do it. I was so excited. I said, yay. So he told me, go bring together, no, he actually didn't tell me. I just called my sister-in-law, two of them, and I sat down with them and I told them, now you guys, I just called you all to tell you, together with my husband, that we want to get married. Say when. I told them, we don't know, but it has to be before the 12th, because I should be leaving the country on the 12th. So if anything will happen, it's going to happen between now and probably the 11th. They was like, you're all crazy. I mean, how? Seriously, like whoever plans a wedding in 1 week? Who? Where? When? And so, we decided, so my family members, in-laws, they said, well, if that's what you all want, then I don't know how this will turn out, but whatever, you got our support. So we sat down and decided which date is the best, and we came up with a date. Now, we don't want to go beyond this in this video. If you guys want to know how this went down, planning for a wedding before my departure, make sure you watch the next video. Make sure you watch the next video, guys, because it's getting better, okay? So thank you so much for joining us, and if you haven't subscribed as yet, please make sure you press that subscribe button. That will be of great help to us, and share the videos, and also drop your comments in the comment section. Thank you so much for staying with us. Until next time, Nadandi.
Bye-bye.